Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel 100% Pure Elvis. Thank you all for returning to my channel, and if you are new to the 100% Pure Elvis channel, welcome aboard and thank you for joining. So I am continuing my review of Elvis Presley studio albums from the 1970s. So before I get started, on the easel behind me here is the 1971 album Love Letters from Elvis. I have just done an upload of that album and spoken about my thoughts on the album, where it reached in the UK album charts, and where the single off that album reached in the UK singles chart as well. So please go back and check that upload. So which album am I going to talk about now? And again, this album was issued in 1971 as well, and it is one of my all-time favourite Elvis albums. What a corker. We are talking about I'm 10,000 Years Old, Elvis Country. And I just love the front cover design, so different from any previous Elvis album release. And Elvis, age 3, with his mum and dad, Vernon and Gladys. And on the back, what a great image of Elvis there live in concert. I would say that is a 1971 image of Elvis live in concert there. Again, if anyone has any other additional information about what concert date it was and the jumpsuit he's wearing, please share in the comments below. But I love everything about this album back cover as well. I just think the design of it is just outstanding. The catalogue number for my copy is INTS 5111. INTS 5111. So let's go to the track listing. So we have Snowbird, Tomorrow Never Comes, Little Cabin on the Hill, Whole Lot of Shaking Going On, Funny How Time Slips Away, I Really Don't Want to Know, There Goes My Everything, It's Your Baby, You Rock It, The Fool, Faded Love, I Washed My Hands in Muddy Water, Make the World Go Away, I Was Born About 10,000 Years Ago. What a corker of an album. There is no song on this album that I dislike. They are all superb. So let's talk through where this reached in the UK album charts. So Elvis Country reached a peak of number 6 in the UK album charts in 1971, and it stayed in the UK top 40 album charts for 9 weeks. And the hit singles that Elvis had off this album in the UK singles chart, so we have There Goes My Everything, and it reached a peak of number 6 also, and it stayed in the UK singles charts for 11 weeks. And Whole Lot of Shaking Going On reached number 8 in the UK singles chart and stayed in the UK singles chart for 6 weeks. But again, 2 great tracks. So for me, what's my go-to on this album? I love Tomorrow Never Comes, I Really Don't Want to Know, There Goes My Everything, Faded Love, Make the World Go Away. Every single track on this album to me is a strong song. There's just no weak ones. And I just love in between each song that bit where it's I was born about 10,000 years ago, going into the next song and into the next song. A great touch from Elvis, and you know, RCA putting this out, amazing. And for me, when I talk about Elvis Country, has to go into my top 5 favourite albums from the 1970s. And that is because it is an album that I do tend to listen to a lot. And I think when you're talking about favourite Elvis albums from the 70s, 60s and 50s, I go by which one that I put on more frequently than others. And, you know, so from the 1970s, I've got favourite albums, and then I've got least favourite albums that I tend not to listen to a great deal. So, but Elvis Country is a go-to album for me. Again, I did listen to this a few nights ago now, because it's an album that, you know, you can just listen to it over and over again. And for me, I just love Tomorrow Never Comes. It's just such a it's just one of it's got to it's an all-time favorite of mine. Um, I just want to show you the vinyl inside first as well. Comes in its white sleeve here, and this one is on the RCA International label with the green RCA middle there. And look at that vinyl, it's beautiful. Again, I'm not overly sure if it's an original 1971 copy. I think it might not be because of it being an international one, but on the back sleeve it does say 1971. So again, I'm not overly too sure if it isn't an original copy, but doesn't matter if it's not. And because I do have this a few times in my collection. I have the copy on the Follow That Dream label, and I have another import edition of Elvis Country. But again, I just think it's one of Elvis's best albums from the 1970s. And for me, whenever I talk to fellow Elvis fans, you know, this is an album that never ever gets any negative feedback. It's an album that people always praise, and it's always been a favourite of Elvis fans, you know, from albums in the 1970s. And for me, when I talk about the UK chart position of number 6, you know, that's fine. You know, I mean, I wish it did. I wish it would have gone higher in the UK album charts. But again, reaching the top 10 UK album charts, no mean feat. Staying in the UK album charts for just over 2 months, and then having the 2 hit singles off the album, both reaching the top 10. There Goes My Everything, and a whole lot of shaking going on. So again, I think it just goes to show when you've got strong songs that are singles reaching the top 10 in the UK charts, it helps the album as well. And again, for me, I know this album did really well in the United States of America as well, so, and also around Europe. So it's an album that performed so well across all genres. So obviously in America you have different album charts that this could have charted in. In the UK, we didn't have that at that time. So for me, you know, reaching a UK chart position of number 6, I'm quite happy with that. You know, I would have preferred it to get maybe top 5. You know, sounds better. But again, going back to the front cover design and the back, you know, it's so different. And again, whoever thought of this album cover, you know, well done. I just think it's just superb. And again, on the back, I just think the design on the back, you know, all of it, even down to where it's got Elvis Country here, I think it's just such a great touch, and with the great image of Elvis in the middle. So again, any additional information about that image of Elvis, and what concert it's from, and the jumpsuit he's wearing, and maybe the date of the concert, could you please share it in the comments below? So before I close off, thank you all for returning to my channel, 100% Pure Elvis. Please keep an eye out for more uploads coming real soon on other albums from the 1970s. I'm going to turn my attention next to Elvis albums from the 1970s, but not studio albums. So like live albums, compilation albums, etc. So please keep an eye out for that as well. But before I close off, going back to Elvis Country, peaking at number 6 in the UK album charts, and it had 2 hit singles off it. There Goes My Everything, whole lot of shaking going on. So again, please share your thoughts on this great album in the comments below. Is it a favourite of yours, or is it not a favourite of yours? Again, I'd love to see your comments below, and I will reply to you all as soon as I possibly can. As always, please keep Elvis close to your hearts. Please keep on playing his music. Love to you all. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and welcome to the 100% Pure Elvis family, and I will speak to you all soon. Thank you very much for tuning in. Bye bye.